So you're over 30, you've probably tried a million diets before to try and lose weight, but what happens? Maybe you get some short-term success, but the results don't last, and you fall off the wagon and you go back to eating the same, if not more, and putting on more weight. Today, we're going to put a stop to that. I'm Matt Smallacombe. I'm an online personal trainer and fully qualified nutritionist. I've been in the game for well over a decade, helping many, many people. And today I'm going to help you with this issue. Now, I've recently been through sort of something similar to this. So I am a national level strongman and I cut a bit of weight to get into competitions. Now, every time I do this, calories get reduced and all I can think about is food. And then after the competition, all I want to do is eat every bit of food in sight because I've been depleting myself for a period of time. This is the problem with traditional dieting. So traditional dieting is where you really reduce calories and usually you eat bland and boring food, rabbit food. Sometimes what you may have for your breakfast is some form of porridge. Not that porridge is bad, but it's usually not made in a really nutritious way. Or you may have a couple of pieces of toast. Lunch, you may have a salad. Dinner, you're going to have something, maybe like a little bit of salmon with a few grilled vegetables. Not all of that is bad, but that is so few calories and so few nutrients that your body is just crying out for more calories and more nutrients. So what happens? Feeds up to your brain and all you can think about is food. Every time you go to the supermarket, you're thinking of everything you want to eat in the supermarket. You want to go to your local fast food place and you want to buy everything in sight. And then there's only so much willpower you can have to resist that for a certain amount of time before your body and your brain gives in and then you do binge. And usually the binge doesn't just last for a meal, doesn't just last for a day, it will last for days, if not weeks on end. You'll put on the weight that you lost, plus a bit more, and you'll have got out of the routine of that diet and that diet's gone. You'll then keep eating, putting on more weight, you'll get upset, you'll try a different diet, and the cycle continues, because that's how traditional diets are set up. Or even worse, they do things like, say, certain foods are sins, and you're bad for eating them and you've got to count them. And it just puts a negative connotation on the diet. So we're going to put a stop to that today. Before we go into the further points, I just want to say I've got a large free resource that does everything for you and will set you up with your diet. So within that, we'll work out your calories and your macros. We will have a look at your mindset and how we can flip your mindset for success and building success through your diet and your training for a lifestyle moving forward. I'll give you a free training plan, and this is all in videos that you can watch through at your own pace. It's called Built 30. So if you want access to that, all you need to do is join my Skool community in the link in the description below. Go to the classroom and go to the Built 30 page and it's all there, free of charge for you. So definitely go and do that one. It's free, it's very extensive. You're not going to get more sort of bang for your buck for a free resource than that one. So I promise you, go and check that one out. So the pitfalls of traditional dieting. They go into a yo-yo approach and an all or nothing mindset. So the yo-yo approach is what we just sort of touched on. It's where you go into a diet, so you lose weight, but because you're depleting yourself, all you want to do is binge, and it's not your fault. It's the way these diets are set up. They're just completely wrong. There's only so much willpower you have. So you'll lose weight, you'll fall off the wagon, you'll binge, you'll come up again, and you'll come up higher, so you'll put on more weight. Then you'll diet again, then the same thing will happen. You'll go up and you'll put on more weight. So over time, you have this effect. So this was your start point. You lost weight, you put on weight. You lost weight, you put on weight. You lost weight, you put on weight. So before you know it, you've put on however much extra weight, say 10, 20 kg from where you started. So this is what we call yo-yo dieting. It also breeds an all or nothing mindset that we want to get rid of. And then what I mean by this is you're either all in or you're not doing it at all. So this is where people go, I'm 100% into the diet, I'm eating perfectly every single day, I'm going to the gym 6 times a week, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to do anything else, I'm 100% motivated, I'm 100% in. Great. That'll last about a month. Then you'll fall off the wagon, this will happen, and then you have nothing. Then you'll feel annoyed again, you'll go back all in, 100%, and then you'll go back to nothing. We want to avoid this. So, what do we do instead? First of all, you check out the Built 30 free resource, because this will set all your numbers out for you. So we're going to work out what your numbers are. So if you want to lose weight, we've got to be in a calorie deficit consistently over a long period of time. So we need to know those numbers. We want a meal plan. Now, a meal plan is not restrictive, it's liberating. And what I mean by this is you have a meal plan that has the food you want to consume, the meals that suit your lifestyle, and it fits into your calorie and macro targets. What we do with that meal plan is we use that, or a variation of that, on your busiest days. I don't want you to think, when you're at work, when you're working with sorting the kids out, you're taking them to all their clubs, you're doing meetings, you're getting to the gym as well, you're doing all these things. The last thing we want to do is put more pressure on you to then think about every individual meal and make it this culinary masterpiece every single time. I don't want you doing that. Busiest days, follow your meal plan. Then when you're on days off, or maybe evening meals with the family, then play around with it a little bit more, put a little bit more thought into it. But a meal plan will sort you out and keep you on track on your busiest days. We also want a realistic training plan. We want to focus on strength training, and we want to add some cardio in as well. But again, if you're really, really busy, be honest with how much you can actually consistently get to the gym. I recommend for my busy over 30 clients, 2 to 4 times per week. Doesn't need to be 5 or 6. You may find, to start with, 2 works well. I work with a lot of people who do 2 sessions a week, make fantastic progress. And the reason is they can stick to that. There's no point us saying 6+ times per week that maybe you do for a week or 2. Realistically, it doesn't fit into your lifestyle, and then you can only get there maybe twice. So we then go back into this all or nothing. You think because you can't get there 6 times a week, it's not worth it. So we get back into nothing and we fall off again. Don't do it. Be realistic with what you can do. What we also need to make this a long-term thing where we lose weight, we feel healthy, and we keep it going for the long term is we need a plan for social events and family life and just real life in general. We need to be able to go for meals out with the family. We need to be able to go on holiday. We need to be able to do work meals. We need to be able to do all these things. It'll be people's birthdays. You want to eat some birthday cake. You maybe want to have a beer on the weekend or a glass of wine. So we need a plan. I've got a big plan in my coaching program and even in that Built for 30 free resource. So honestly, check that one out in the Skool community. What we do for this is something called calorie banking for the most part. So if we know you've got a big meal out on a Saturday night, the day before and the day after, so Friday and Sunday, we're going to come in, depending on what your calorie amount is for you, this is just an average, so we're going to come in about 500 calories under on Friday and Sunday. So we've banked 1,000 calories. Then on the Saturday, when the meal out is, we're going to go really, really light and high protein during the day. So again, we're going to bank at least 500, if not about 750 calories. So what that does is that has given us an extra 1,750 calories that you can add to that Saturday night meal, because you've already got an allowance for that Saturday night meal, which could be another 500, 600 calories. So then in total, you've got getting on for, well, just over 2,200, close to 2,500 calories for that meal and that night out on that Saturday, which is plenty if you're not going completely overboard. So that is how we do it, because you want to be in a calorie deficit on average over a week and over a long period of time. So it doesn't, one meal where you go over on your one day when you go over on your calories will not make you fat. One day when you come under your calories will not make you skinny. It's that consistency. So think of it that way. We can leverage it and play with that. So that is what we want to do instead. And we want to focus on good whole foods 80 to 90% of the time. So 80 to 90% of the time, we are eating whole foods and we're on plan. That gives us 10 to 20% of the time where we can add in the flexibility. We can have cake with our coffee. We can go for meals out. We can do all these things, but we're still doing it in a healthy, productive way. So this is what I do in my Strong Again program. So the Strong Again program it starts off as a 16-week program. You can go for longer if you want to, but it starts as 16 weeks. We cover all of this. You've got one-to-one access to me as your coach. So we'll set up your diet. We'll make sure you're absolutely set and it fits into your lifestyle. We'll set up your training plan. Again, fully tailored to you, fits into your lifestyle. I've got a whole online educational course that you can work your way through at your own pace, which teaches you everything you need to know. Because the idea is, I don't want you just to lose weight over 16 weeks and then get to the end of it and go back to what you're doing before. We're making changes for your life. So I want you to learn all of this so you can just implement it going forward. And once you've experienced it through me coaching it to you and you learning it, you'll be able to do it. Easy, no stress. You'll just have all the tools that you need. And what I'm going to offer you, because I'm so appreciative of everyone who watches these videos, we're going to do an offer. So if you go into Instagram in the description, click on my profile, drop me a follow, and just DM me the word offer, you'll get an exclusive offer off of the whole 16-week Strong Again program. We'll have a chat, make sure it works for you. And if it does and you want to go ahead, we'll get you to exactly where you want to be in 2026, and it'll be cheaper for you. Right, so thank you once again. Make sure you join the Skool community, get the free Built 30 course, go through that. If you want to go ahead with coaching, take me up on this offer and let's get you exactly where you want to be. But do not fall into the trap of traditional dieting because it's set up not to work. They do not work, as we've been through today. Right, I'll speak to you next time.